All right. Joined today on the Batcave Podcast with a special guest, Jake Luke, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. Here we are.
So just in case they missed the first conversation.
Beautiful Shatek Records.
Shatek Records.
Yes. That's my name of my LLC / recording studio business.
For all the paneling stuff you've been doing with?
Also that, yes.
Also that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So for those that missed the first conversation, can you give like an abridged version of how you first got into music and how it all started?
Yeah. I mean, I have been doing music since I was, kind of as long as I could remember. I think like doing music as a career really wasn't on my radar at all until well after high school. Like in high school I was in choir, band. I was a theater kid, but I also did sports. Played basketball, baseball, football just in junior high. But yeah, I was like real involved in like all the extra like music stuff. Like I was in like pop choir, and I was all-state finalist actually for, I think they called it all-state choir, which is like super nerd choir.
The best thing.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you think about being like all-state for like some type of sport, it was like that, but for choir, which I didn't even know existed until I was a junior in high school. But my choir teacher was like, "Hey, we're gonna submit a tape," and I was like, "Not that kind." No, and then I got accepted, and so it was like one of, I think there was like 100 or 150, something like that, in the entire state. I think it was like you could only be junior and senior, but anyway, and then I went to college originally in Brookings, South Dakota, SDSU, shout out the Jackrabbits, and I was going to school originally for mechanical engineering, and then I was dating someone there and kind of like we broke up, had a falling out, and so I moved to St. Cloud actually, and some of my friends were like just like messing around freestyling, and I was like, yo, what's this about? And I was terrible at freestyling. I still kind of am terrible at freestyling, to be completely honest. And and then, but I was like, this is like cool, like I want to like try and like figure this out. So I bought like a shitty USB mic and tried recording some of my own stuff, which was super bad, like atrociously bad. And then I went and found this guy in North Minneapolis to record a mixtape in the sketchiest of sketchy neighborhoods. I can't, honestly, now thinking back on that,
it was a wild choice.
It was a trap house. It was literally a trap house. And like you had to like walk down, like pretty sure they had like a growery in the house, and then like walk down into the basement into this like room that was like a quarter of the size of this room, and recording on like $150 total, including the computer worth of equipment. But I paid this guy $300 to do a mixtape, and that was kind of like the first spark. That was like all I needed. I like super fell in love with it after that, even though that mixtape also was not all that good. But like early on, I would say like I had a few inspirations. I would say, I know this is super white of me, but I was like huge on Mac Miller back then, and he was probably like one of my biggest inspirations to get into music, because I was like, again, I know this is hilarious because he's obviously very talented, but my mind literally thought, dude, this dude can't sing. I can sing. Like, if he can do it, I can do it. And I made some terrible music from then until somewhere maybe a couple years ago. But that was kind of like the genesis of it. And then I got like real into it. I ended up going to school for audio engineering after that. I kind of bounced around a little bit. Like I said, I went to school in Brookings. I went to school in St. Cloud State for a year. Then I did the 2-year program at Hennepin Tech in Eden Prairie.
Nice.
In the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul area, for all y'all that aren't local. Went through that whole program and just like super fell in love with it. and I was like 22 when I got done with it. And like shortly after that tour, like kind of in the middle of that, I started doing shows in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. And within like a year, I think, I had done a couple shows with Cam Meekins, and then went on a national, or got invited to go on a national tour with Cam Meekins, with this other dude, Leonard. Do you know who that is?
I don't know who Leonard is.
He doesn't do music anymore, I don't think.
Okay.
But he was like...
I know Cam, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He was like he was a promoter in the Minneapolis area.
For like Vanquish and stuff like that?
Say again?
For like Vanquish and...
Is that a venue?
Yeah. But it's like a club.
I'm not even familiar with that.
Okay, yeah, it's like a...
No, we did a bunch of ones that... I'm not even familiar with that one. Where's that at?
It's in like the deep trench. It's in like...
I see. No, well, I mean, this dude was white, but we did shows at like... He ran a bunch of shows out of Skyway, actually.
Oh, okay.
In the one small room. The Studio...
Oh, Studio B?
B? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah, that one. I did probably like... 5-6 shows out of that room that one year.
Skyway's scary. Have you?
Kinda, yeah.
have you
Dude, I could go on stories about Skyway. I'll bite my tongue because I just had some bad experiences at Skyway. But yeah, anyway, so I did that, and then on that tour actually I met, which it was kind of unrelated because I had met her, like we had mutual friends, but that's when I met my wife, and then after that tour, I was like, didn't even necessarily like see a lane for like making music after that, and my now wife and I had our first son, or like our first child, who is our son, like a little after a year after we met, which obviously is kind of fast. And at the time though, I was like, I didn't like see music as like being like a sustainable path for me, like as like my artist project. And like having gone to school for audio engineering, I saw a lot of people that kind of like got stuck in the studio world and kind of like just got like stuck in that like day to day and like lost their love for it. And so I had like the skill set to do that. Like originally when I went to school for it, I thought I wanted to like open a studio and just kind of like do that grind. And really, I like my sole focus was just my artist project, and like that's why I wanted to like learn. I just like wanted to get better, and then like be able to have the tools, and then also help other people do it too. But even at the time, I was just like, I just didn't think it was like feasible for me, right or wrong. And so then I started doing, because like during that entire time too, I had owned a business doing cell phone repair. And so I started doing that for a while, for like 5 years, and then like, I think it was like 28, and kind of had like a midlife crisis and was like, nah, fuck this, I need to get back into music. And so I kind of like slowly transitioned out of that, like transitioned into doing construction and general contracting, and I was doing that for like 3-4 years before I moved to Nashville. And now we're here in Nashville.
And now it's like a mix of both, because you're like doing the studio stuff, and the music stuff, and the audio engineering stuff, all together.
Yeah. I just did a show where I was doing like playback and running their back end stuff for this kid, Carter Rubin, he actually won The Voice. I don't know what year it was. I don't know if you know who that is or not. It's okay, but he's super talented, and he was just making fun of me. This made me think of this. He was making fun of me because he's like, yo, how many side hustles do you have? And I'm like, enough to keep me going.
Enough to keep me going. Enough to keep me doing what I want to do.
Yeah, because I haven't, that's the thing too, is like, if you know me, I haven't taken a W-2 wage since I was 23 or 22.
That's impressive.
I'm a hustler.
Yeah.
I'm a hustler, baby.
That's impressive. When did you say Shitek Records?
Shitek Records,
Shitek yes. Records. When did this become a thing?
Established in 2023. No, it was really just I needed to start an LLC when stuff like actually started taking off, which was in like 23, when it like kind of made sense. I could see like, oh hey, stuff is actually moving now. I'm actually like making money, and now I need to like
claim it,
and then like have write-offs and like do the actual small business thing with it. So I founded that. Shitek is a lake that is like right by my hometown. That's where the name comes from. It's actually an Indian word for pelican.
Oh, sick. And now that's what all falls under Shitek. Like, what would you say? Like, if you were, obviously you do the hustle thing, do all these different side hustles, but what, like, when you tell people like these are the things I do, these are the services I provide, what does that entail?
So underneath that, like, as the business, I have all of my artist project, Jake Luke, and everything that goes along with that. Then I also have anything I'm doing for production, engineering, mixing and mastering, like any studio work all falls under that. And then I also have my like studio panel, or excuse me, my acoustic panel business, studio furniture business also falls under that.
Did the acoustic panels come from like the construction work, or what kind of got you into like learning that side of stuff?
Yeah, this is gonna sound kind of nuts, but I didn't exactly have like a specific plan when I moved to Nashville. I just knew it was probably like a year ago. I had come down here probably 3 or 4 times in the last like year and a half, and I noticed very quickly that this is kind of where I wanted to be, and like immediately I couldn't even tell you why. I just like knew, because like the energy here is like super infectious. There's a ton of people that make music. I just like loved the vibe of the place. But then it clicked to me where it was like, I knew I was very good at engineering, recording people, mixing, mastering, and I was in some sessions where I was like, oh, I can like skate circles around these people. And I know that's like kind of cocky, but I still like to this day kind of feel that way. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I just noticed that there's a ton of people that are very, very talented here that don't necessarily know their way, like know all the ins and outs of like all of the back end stuff as far as like, again, engineering and mixing and mastering. And so I just felt like that there was a pretty easy path to being able to make a living here. Mm-hmm. And there's like a high concentration of people here that are trying to do it. So
and need someone that can, do the production side of stuff for them.
Yeah. I got slightly sidetracked. That was like my motivation to getting here, but like I knew once I got here, it wasn't going to be like, oh, all of a sudden I have enough clients to sustain. So I was like trying to figure out a way, and it dawned on me one day after I don't know if you saw this video or not, but I built a custom studio desk for my friend Eon Zero.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have a construction background, and I was like, I wonder if I could just go down there and start making studio furniture. That was my original thought. Mm-hmm. So we got down here, and I kind of was just like browsing around on Marketplace and trying to see like, okay, what are people selling what for, like how much time would I have to have invested into doing like X, Y, and Z. And through the process of me building all the panels for this studio, I was like, oh, wait, there's pretty good margins on panels. And I kind of quickly like made a pretty efficient system for making them, and just started posting them on Facebook. And I think since I've been here in October, I've done like probably like 20,000 in sales or something.
You're serious?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude. Because it's like, well, I mean, too, it's, and I'm, basically how I run it is I look at like the major like national retailers for it. Mm-hmm. I kind of like deconstruct it how they make them. I make a better product. I sell it for cheaper. And then it's like, it's really kind of, I'm not going to say it's easy, but like people really appreciate that, like I actually like hop on a call with them and be like, okay, what's your room look like? What do you actually need? Just like
versus you trying to like guess it yourself as an artist, like
or whatever. I mean, because like people that are doing this stuff, whether you're an artist, whether you're an engineer, whether you're whatever, any like creative space, and it's really what I also found out is it's not just music people. That's like the most bulk of my clientele, but that there's also stuff like I did a custom home movie theater. I've had like churches reach out to me. I've had like just like random people that are like, I have an office space, it's too loud, help me out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but like they're not acousticians is the term for that. And I'm not like a certified one either, but I'm a super nerd when it comes to studio design and like the physics of like sound design, and like it's a whole rabbit hole. It's a whole rabbit hole, but it's just like this kind of like perfect melding of like, I have this construction background, so like building this stuff in comparison to like doing whatever it is, finished carpentry work is like super easy.
Yeah.
But then like I said, it's like people appreciate when you actually like just like take the time to be like, okay, what's this like actually mean for like, what's really gonna help me? Because you see tons of people, me included. Like my first studio, I had just like that shitty Amazon foam on the wall, like a lot of people do. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this doesn't do anything. Just doesn't do shit. And then it's like I upgraded to like, actually have some back there, some like 2-inch. It's a product called Owens Corning 703, and it's better, but still isn't great. And I was like still frustrated because I had spent money on these like decent pre-made panels, like a couple $100, and I was like, all right, let me figure out what the good shit is. And so I was just like sat on YouTube for like 2 days straight figuring out like what's the actual like best way to go about doing this. Mm-hmm. And then figured it out, did it for myself in my first studio back in Minnesota, came here, did this one, and then just started selling them on Facebook and off to the races.
Was there a part after because I know you left music for a little bit, did the carpentry stuff. Mm-hmm. Was there a part of when you got into this where you, not to say that like stepping away from music, doing the carpentry stuff was a waste of time by any means, but like was there a part when you like brought it back into the music world where you were like, it felt like it served more of a purpose maybe than you did before?
Yeah, there was a certain point where I was like real mad at myself for like giving up or quitting, and like had some like hard conversations, I feel like, between like me and my wife and stuff. Just because I was like real like, I guess, down on myself for quitting. Mm-hmm. But then like now I have like kind of a different perspective where I'm actually like very thankful that I've gone the path that I've gone, because I like created a lot of things for myself and like a lot of like opportunities and learned a bunch of skills. And what I realized eventually was there's not that much money in music. Mm-hmm. There just isn't.
Yeah.
Unless you are like unless you're like lucky, insanely talented, or like most people have to like work hard for what they have. And I've definitely put myself in that category. Like anywhere in any room down here, I'm usually the worst musician in the room. However, a lot of times I'm the best business person in the room, and like I just know what I'm good at, and I just triple down on that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of feel like I lost your question.
No, you're good. You're good.
You were asking like, remind me what you were asking.
Just how it like brought back that like maybe initially like when you left and came back you felt like, oh, that time away was a waste, but now it like had more of a value because you're using it in the music world.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, no, I like I was saying, I'm thankful that I like have what I have, because it's like being able to do, even if it's not like have anything to do with the music industry sometimes, like having a way to provide for myself and like sustainably provide for my family and not like have to like really worry like that much. I'm not gonna say I never worry, but just like I have enough skills to like keep myself going. That has like helped me be able to like just keep this whole thing going. It's helped me like reinvest in like all this fucking thousands of dollars worth of equipment that it takes to like really be a pro. Cause like, I mean, there's just like a lot of people, it's like if you're only making money off of just music, a lot of musicians are kind of broke and like they want you to kind of work for free. And it's like, that's not entirely true, but like there's a reason that that's like kind of a
stigmatism.
Yeah, because it is somewhat true. It's not like nobody's out here getting rich for the most part. So then it's like, how do you figure out a way to make it make sense sustainably?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just like one thing that people like don't talk about that much, where it's like a lot of your favorite artists, I think I might have said this on the last podcast, but I'm like really big on this. A lot of your favorite artists, your favorite artists, are probably making money in a way that you don't necessarily know, and it doesn't always have to do with music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I think that's so true. Like,
and I don't think there's any shame in that either.
No, not at all. I mean, at the end of the day,
you have to make it make sense.
And I always say that, like, I think that like there's this idea that to be a musician, you have to make all your money from music because you can't work another job or you're not a real musician.
Exactly.
But I think
it's crazy work.
If you have to do...
And I think the thing is, like, that makes you end up, like, we were talking before this podcast, it's like, we know people that have taken, you know, distribution deals or catalog sales or whatever it is, and it ends up where it's like, it just kind of puts you in a bad position, or it can. It's like, you're more than likely better off if you can either self-fund or just have systems in place in your life to make it sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think the other piece of it too is like, people want to make their whole income from music, but it's like, even if you're doing something small on the side to subsidize it, and you're like genuinely happy with like the day-to-day life that you're doing, you're already like winning more than 90% of the people alive. Like, you know, so many people hate what they're doing every day, have nothing to look forward to, they work all day at work, and then they go home and sit on the couch and aren't happy till the weekend. So like, if you find a way to enjoy Monday through Friday, like who cares if you're, you know, doing 2 different things or 3 different things? Like, at the end of the day, you're happy, like, who cares?
Couldn't agree more. And I think, like, I was stuck in that world for a while, but now it's like, I don't know if I'm trying to necessarily make this podcast motivational, but it's like, I mean, I do think that is like a component of it. I do try and be that like person for people. It's like if you're a person that's listening, it's like you're feeling like you're stuck. It's like, just make like one small change every day, because like I was in that place. And eventually, you know, if you just like keep chucking away at it, eventually, if you like dedicate to it, you can become nasty at anything if you want to. You know?
Yeah, you just gotta put your hours in.
Yeah, just keep shooting them shots.
Yeah.
Until they start falling. I'm serious.
How many, like, you mentioned 2023 is when you like did the LLC and created this business, but was there a point along the way where you were like, all right, I'm good here? That was when. Yeah,
because so 23 was like the year that like really like.
Was that when Summer Night came out too?
Yeah, that's when the year that like made me wake up to be like, oh, I think I actually have something. Because like I had put out a lot of music prior to that. Most of it wasn't really all that good, but I also wasn't ultra consistent. Really, what changed is there were 2 things. It was actually back in, I think, 21. I don't even know how I would say that. I would say it was did like a mentorship thing with Matt Corman in 2021, and I like went through like a rebrand, and that was like really when I started. Jake Luke was in 21, and I put out 6 songs that year, I think. and then didn't really put it out anything in 22 because I kind of was trying like pretty hard for like 6-8 months in 21, and then kind of fell off the wagon because I just like wasn't really having a lot of success, and I was like trying to figure out like there's got to be a better way, but I was still kind of also still juggling doing the cell phone repair thing, and then also that was kind of when I was transitioning into doing construction. And then in the end of 22, I found a guy named Ellie Waves, and he's an artist himself. I actually just talked to him today, which is funny because I haven't talked to him in like 5 months. But he runs an ad agency, and for like a long time I was looking like, there's got to be a better way to like sit and promote like my stuff to like make it actually do something on Spotify. And I found him, and it seemed very legit. And he runs an ad agency that does Instagram ads, which now in 26 is like a surefire method. But like 5 years ago, people were still doing like playlisting, and like it was a little bit more of a wild west. People were still using like bots, and like, not to say that doesn't go on still, but for the most part, people just don't do that anymore. And I started really dedicating like took a budget every month and was dedicating to putting money at Instagram ads, and I got myself to like a little bit of a jumping point. Like I think when I released Summer Nights, I think it was in June of 23, I was at like, I'm gonna say 8,000 monthly listeners or something. I had got myself to that point from running ads from January of 23 to June of 23. And then when I released that song, it like just started going by itself. I was like doing my normal budget. I think I would put in like $300 to $500 per song. And over that summer, it just like started crushing, and I was like, whoa. Well, this like actually happens for people. And because I was kind of like dumbfounded. I was like, I don't know if I was like that I got lucky. I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, I think it's just like, to me, I don't really believe in luck. I kind of more, for the most part, just believe like, if you shoot enough shots, if you put yourself in the right position to win enough times, eventually something will happen. Mm-hmm. That's kind of just like my outtake on life. Usually, like, I don't even really like believe in like fate. I just more believe it's like, if you work hard enough for yourself, eventually something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you can't miss from the same shot too many times,
5,000
right?
times. Yeah,
eventually the ball just feels bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's such a funny way to put it. But yeah, no, that is how I feel. And then it was like that. It started doing well, and I just tripled down on it. And I think by the end of 23, I was at like 120,000 monthly listeners or something.
Yeah, because I think, when did we do our first, was that start of 24, start of 25? When did you go on the tour with Moonlander? Because it was like after that.
When was that? I think that was
24. That was 24 for sure, because that was my last year in Minnesota.
Had to be. Yeah. Had to be December of 24.
Yeah.
That's when I went on tour with Moonlander, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was like a year, because I think we did it like January,
but
February.
by that time I was at like 200,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were at 200 already in like
something
a year and a half basically from 8K in like June of 23. That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy to think about. I mean, it happens faster for some people, but like I just never thought that. I don't know. I think it was like always skeptical even for myself. Like now I think like I can be objective about it and say like I was making songs back then, but I think my biggest weakness back then was I just like wasn't that strong of a songwriter. Mm-hmm. I think I was always like pretty decent at producing, and then like engineering and mixing, mastering. But if the song is dog water,
it doesn't matter what bowl it comes in.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Which is so funny because I feel like so many other people have the other side of it where they like can make a good song, mm-hmm. but it acoustically sounds like trash.
Yeah, I think it was like, I don't even know. That was always my biggest gripe with myself, like early on, was I was like, I could figure out how to make it sonically sound cool, but the writing, I just was like, it just wasn't there. And I think that's probably just like, I just didn't spend enough time really like sharpening my pen, you know, which sounds cheesy, but now being here, because that's another thing, is I'm like being here and having done now, even in this like short amount of time, I've done a shit ton of writes with other people. Generally speaking, I'm also the worst writer in every room. I feel that way right now. But like the whole thing about that is like, that's why another reason I was so excited to be here was like,
there's so much of that here that like,
yes, and it forces you to elevate.
Yeah.
Like I was, yeah. I mean, it's just like, I think you're in the best position if you're the worst one in the room. Mm-hmm. Because you have the most to learn.
Whereas
and I feel that way all the time.
In the Midwest, it's like, not to say that like there wasn't opportunities to feel people.
I was usually the best in the room, which is bad for me.
Yeah.
Or it's bad for anyone. It's bad for anyone to be like it just doesn't, it like creates this thing where like you get stale. And I'm not even saying I really was the best in every room, but it was just like, there wasn't like hardly anything to look up to. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Because I want to talk about, from there, we're talking about Writer's Room. I want to talk about the writing camp you did with Hannah V and Parker Jack and Leon in Arizona.
Okay.
Because that wasn't that long ago, right? That was...
No, it wasn't.
It was October? Right?
When was that? Yeah, I think it was the end. It was the end of October, I think.
Yeah.
You have a specific question, or you just want me to talk about
I want to start with just talking about the experience of doing a writer's camp, but we're going to get there, where you think it's going.
So, no, I was just curious if you wanted me to talk about something in specific with it. So it was actually, it wasn't like specifically a writer's camp, it was actually really more of just like an artist retreat, is like what the premise of that specific one was. But Parker, Jack was there, and as well as some other now friends that I have, but just to name a few without forgetting any, hopefully. Eon Zero was there, Hannah V was there, like a video guy, Jack PSD, my homie Matt, I forget Matt's last name, but he used to go by PFV. Now he changed to his like government name for artistry. A producer, his name's Chica. This other dude produced by Brigatti. McNeff was there. I'm sure there's some other people that I'm forgetting. Who else was there? Rudy Wade's homie, LaGrange. I think I'm saying that right. Who else? I don't remember. There was a lot of people there. It was fun.
You guys like planned it. You guys did a show while you were out there too, right?
Yeah, that was kind of like. Yeah, it was.
We can skip over.
We'll skip over that.
Okay.
No, I mean we don't have to, but yeah, it was like kind of random. We just ended up planning. We went and like toured this place called the Oasis, which is it's a venue / recording studio / bar / I don't really know what else they all got going on, but we just went out there and like toured the recording studio, and then Parker was talking to the venue owner, and then they were talking to him, and Parker had mentioned that he had never done a show, or never done like a real show, and they were like, well, we'll host your real show, or your first real show, and then so yeah, we ended up doing that. It didn't really go crazy, but like in the same token, it was promoted like 2 days beforehand.
Yeah, it was
in
like
the middle of the week. Like, I'm not really sure what anybody was expecting, but anyway, that's a side story. So yeah, no, but what ended up happening out of that retreat was a bunch of songs got made, and one of the nights, I want to say it was like 3/4 of the way through the retreat, so I'm gonna say on day like 4 out of 6 or something. We went back to Parker was staying in another house, and he invited me and Eon and Hannah back to his house, because we had kind of started writing on a song, and there was like 25 people in the other house, and it was like
a little too crowded.
It's just a lot. I don't know if you've ever done, like, I mean, think of like bachelor party vibes. It's kind of like, it's kind of like that.
Like eventually you need some space.
Yeah, it was like, it was cool. No, I mean, like I had a lot of fun, but it was just like whatever. So we were like literally just trying to get a breather, and then all of a sudden we started making what ended up being 911. We wrote that entire song in like 30 minutes total. Like, that's insane. Everyone's parts in 30 minutes total. We came up with the hook in like 6 minutes.
Wow. That's actually crazy.
It's insane. It's literally, it was like, I mean, I don't know, it was like pretty damn like close to that fast. Because like, so if, shout out Ian, he makes, he's self-admittedly like slightly autistic, and his superpower is music. Because like he can make instrumentals in legitimately like 4 minutes. Like he made that entire instrumental in like 4 minutes, and then we had the entire hook written like 5 minutes later.
No, and I kind of thought it was like, like it feels like 20 minutes until we like that one time we came over here and Party made that song, and it was literally like, oh, we got to leave for post in like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
and we made an entire song in 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not like, that's one thing like I personally have been like working really hard on is trying to get that fast, because like there actually is like there's something to that where, this is going to sound like a little bit airy-fairy, but I've come to realize like how, whatever term you want to call this, you want to call it the muse, you want to call it like connecting with your inner self, whatever you want to call it, like that's really real. And like in order for like people to get to that headspace, it's very fleeting. It can come and it can go like really quickly. So like you as an engineer and a producer, if you can just like assist that in any way possible, that's like really your job. Like overarchingly as a producer, that's your job, like famously like Rick Rubin as an example, it's like he doesn't know shit about music. He says that, he really does, but like just like helping be a vessel for them to get where they're going really is like the whole thing. But like tangibly speaking, as an engineer or as like a beat maker, if you can do that really quickly to help them get the idea that is right there, right now, happen, you're like a super valuable asset. And that's just like, I don't know, it's like, it's an invaluable tool, and Ian's really, really good at it. But yeah, so the other thing that's funny is like, I tell this because it's like, I don't know, it's just funny. Like we cut that song on that Focusrite and that SM7B, even though I have like a $10,000 vocal chain, but it wasn't there. We just like that's what we had, and so that's what we used, and like, now that song has like, I don't
4
remember.
million plays, I think, on Spotify alone.
Alone, yeah. we just looked, I was talking, I'm in a group text with them and some other people like associated with the song, and I think it's at like, I don't want to misspeak, but I think I saw they were saying it's like either 6 or 9 million across all platforms right now.
Yeah, which is insane.
2 months.
It was made in October.
In 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense to me, if I'm being honest with you. It's just like being at the right place at the right time and like being a vessel to the muse, because we were all like, I don't know. It's hard to explain that experience, to be honest with you, because it was just like it happened so fast, and we were all like one person would come up with a line and another person would come up with a line, and we were just like, oh shit, that's so good, like whatever, and then we just like came up, I don't know, we came up with the whole thing so fast with like the hook, and then we each wrote our verse in like 15 minutes, and then.
Did you feel like when the song was done that it was gonna be like a cool thing, or were you like, this is just a cool song?
No, I think we all kind of knew. I think I've been in the room for not. I mean, that's the biggest song I've been in the room for that happened with something that fast. I mean, as far as like the success of it has translated that fast. But yeah, there's been like.
Because songs take years to hit million. Like sometimes.
Sometimes,
like,
yeah.
Like you know.
It's all relative too, based on like how big your listenership is from the get go. You know what I mean? Like he has a really big listenership already, so it's like you're already at a place where he's sitting on a trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like somebody like me, if I put out the same song, it's probably not going to do as big because like I didn't have the same